Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. This is 10 Minutes English Podcast Series, the podcast where we explore the hidden sides of our world, from human behavior to the mysteries of nature. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a fascinating question. How smart are animals? We often think intelligence belongs to humans, but what if animals understand more than we imagine?
That's a great question, and one that challenges how we see ourselves in the natural world. Because honestly, the more we study animals, the more we realize that intelligence isn't just a human thing.
Absolutely. When we think of intelligence, we usually imagine language, reasoning, or creativity. But animals show all of those in their own ways. For instance, have you heard about the crows that can solve multi-step puzzles?
Oh, yes, those crows are incredible. Researchers gave them a problem where they had to use one tool to get another, and then use that second tool to reach food. That's called sequential reasoning, and it's something we once believed only humans and maybe chimpanzees could do.
It's wild, right? A bird with a brain the size of a walnut showing reasoning that rivals a human child. It really makes you question, what is intelligence exactly?
Exactly. Maybe intelligence isn't about brain size or even language, but about adaptability, the ability to learn, to solve problems, and to communicate in meaningful ways. Take dolphins, for example. They have complex social structures, they can recognize themselves in mirrors, and even have unique signature whistles, basically names.
I've heard about that. Each dolphin develops its own distinct sound to identify itself, and others respond when they hear it. That's social intelligence at a high level.
Right. And if you look at elephants, you'll find emotional intelligence that's deeply moving. They grieve their dead, comfort one another, and can remember faces even after decades. There's a story of an elephant who reunited with a caretaker after 20 years, and she recognized them instantly.
That gives me chills. It's proof that intelligence isn't just about logic, but about memory, emotion, and connection. And speaking of connection, dogs might be one of the most emotionally intelligent species we live with every day.
Definitely. Dogs are experts at reading human emotions. They can sense when we're sad, anxious, or happy, and they respond accordingly. Some even learn hundreds of words. There's a border collie named Chaser who could understand over 1,000 different words.
1,000 words. That's more vocabulary than some toddlers. It's almost as if evolution shaped dogs to communicate with us on an emotional level.
Exactly. They've evolved alongside humans for thousands of years, learning to read our gestures, tone, and even eye contact. That's a level of social intelligence that goes beyond simple training.
You know, what fascinates me most is how every species has its own kind of intelligence, shaped by its environment and needs. Like octopuses, they can open jars, escape from aquariums, and even use coconut shells as tools. That's creativity in the ocean.
Yes, and that's an important point. We often define intelligence through a human lens, but nature defines it differently. An octopus might not talk or build cities, but it uses problem-solving skills to survive. Intelligence, in that sense, is everywhere.
I love that. Intelligence is everywhere. It reminds me of how bees communicate. Their waggle dance literally tells other bees where to find flowers, distance, direction, and all.
That's right. The beeswag dance is a symbolic language, a kind of map in motion. When you think about it, that's mind-blowing. A brain smaller than a grain of rice can encode and transmit navigational data.
And then there's the parrot Alex, one of the most famous examples. He could identify colors, shapes, numbers, and even understand the concept of zero. He wasn't just mimicking words, he understood them.
Alex really changed how scientists viewed animal cognition. When asked how many green blocks, he could count them and give the correct answer. He even showed frustration when he got things wrong. That's self-awareness.
So, with all these examples, dolphins, crows, elephants, dogs, parrots, it's clear animals are far more intelligent than we give them credit for. But I have to ask, do you think animals think like humans?
That's the tricky part. They probably don't think like us, but that doesn't mean they don't think at all. Their intelligence serves their world, their needs. A chimp may not solve a math problem, but it can understand fairness and cooperation. A bird might not speak, but it can plan for the future.
It's humbling, isn't it? To realize that intelligence takes so many forms. It makes us less of the superior species and more a part of an intelligent web of life.
Exactly. And the more we understand animal intelligence, the more we have to rethink how we treat them. In captivity, in the wild, even in our homes. Because once you realize they feel, think, and remember, empathy becomes inevitable.
That's powerful. Maybe the real measure of human intelligence is how we respond to the intelligence around us.
I couldn't agree more. When we respect the minds of other creatures, we also learn something about ourselves, about connection, compassion, and coexistence.
Beautifully said. So, to our listeners, the next time you see your dog tilting its head or a bird solving a puzzle, or even an ant carrying a leaf twice its size, remember, intelligence isn't exclusive to humans. It's all around us, in countless forms, waiting to be understood.
Well said. The world is full of smart minds. We just need to look a little closer.
Thank you so much for joining today's episode. This was an eye-opening conversation about the brilliance of animals. If you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to follow Dark to Light for more stories that change how you see the world.
Thanks for having me, and thanks to everyone listening. Stay curious.